the top 4 Knoxville areas to know about if you're considering Knoxville. These are based on school data. These are based on where people are buying, where people are building. These are based on internet searches. And also, everyone that calls me that's relocating here, these are the areas that they want to know about. And these are also areas where I've had clients move within Knox County too in order to be in these areas. So let's dive in and get going. All right, Hardin Valley. All right, Hardin Valley. Quick and dirty map tour so you can see what I'm talking about. So you got Knoxville, and Hardin Valley sits above Farragut, basically. So if I type in Hardin Valley in Google Maps, if I could spell it correctly, that'd be great. It shows me the following. Couple things. Similarly to Farragut, you notice Farragut has water south, and then you see Mountain Hill here. So similarly, boundaries based on bodies of water. So I want to point that out to you, and also show you that, to me, I agree with this map of Hardin Valley, while I didn't agree with the map of Farragut. Hardin Valley is a very new community. So technically it's saying Hardin Valley is this. Well, if you remember from Farragut, I was showing you Pellissippi, right? Well, Pellissippi, I should have done that in different colors, but Pellissippi runs north to south, right? And what I was saying is Farragut is everything southeast of Pellissippi, which is this. Whereas Hardin Valley is everything northeast of that intersection of I-40 and Pellissippi. Pellissippi, again, known as 140, and this is 4075 going this way. So, however, there are people, intruders, imposters, if you will, that consider this part of Hardin Valley. There's several reasons for that. Hardin Valley schools are perceived better than Karns. There's some niche.com data that supports that. But essentially, Hardin Valley is a very new area, whereas like Karns, it's been there. And Karns used to be like as far northwest as you would go. Like Hardin Valley wasn't even a thing. So similarly to how I showed you like the school zoning, when I put and set properties zoned for Hardin Valley Academy, we see that not only is Pellissippi, like Pellissippi is not the end all be all, and really it's more like Pellissippi and then some of this over here is Hardin Valley. So, and then basically what happens is Cedar Bluff comes in like this, kind of funkily, but basically all of this to about here-ish is Hardin Valley, essentially. So that would mean that even part of, like I showed you already. So then some things of note about Hardin Valley. Number one is, you see how this is all green? All this. That is because there's not like, there's not how Turkey Creek is like an invasive shopping center. Invasive is an aggressive word, but basically Hardin Valley is really purely residential. If you look at this map and we just consider what Google is saying is the line of Hardin Valley, how many grocery stores do you see? The answer is, do you see it? Can you see it? Is this one. Okay, there's one. However, you would likely be, driving from Hardin Valley to Publix here. There's like, there's Kroger Marketplace. There's, I mean, all kinds of grocery stores, Super Walmart, Super Target, all right here that are just, you would just go under I-40 and you would be at Turkey Creek. So most of the shopping and all that stuff, you're either going to do in Farragut or you're going to go down. This is Hardin Valley to Middlebrook Pike. There's Food City. There's a Kroger here. Where's the Kroger? Oh, Kroger here. Yeah, literally there's a Kroger right there. There's a Food City. So you're going to go outside of Hardin Valley. That's one thing I want to point out to you. The other thing I want to point out to you when it comes to shopping in Hardin Valley, there is a big difference from being close to Pellissippi, if you're looking for real estate, what's happening? And yeah, there's a big difference between here versus out here in what I'm referring to as like the boonies, okay? Because this is a way further drive over here. So that is going to be less convenient than, obviously, say for example, you work downtown. Well, you're gonna have to, if you live here where this little dot is, you're gonna have to take windy back roads. You're gonna get to what they're calling Hickory Creek Road. Then that turns into Hardin Valley. You're gonna take Hardin Valley all the way down, and boom, you're gonna hit Pellissippi. You're gonna take Pellissippi, and then you're gonna get on 40. Now you could theoretically back road it all this way, but what I want to show you is how many roads go in and out of Hardin Valley, like major roads. This one I just showed you, and Yarnell. And Yarnell is fine, but like Hardin Valley proper, if you're way back here, you're not going to cross over to get to Yarnell. That would take you even longer. So I'm saying all this because because when you think about Hardin Valley, this is all houses and it's seen massive explosion. So it is a very popular area. However, it's purely almost 100% residential, and also you've got 2 main roads that go through it, and the rest of it are more windy back roads. So if you are an anti-windy back road person, perhaps Hardin Valley is not for you. Now, I'm not so much bothered by the fact that there's not a ton of grocery store shopping, because all of this, you're gonna go into Farragut. You're gonna leave Hardin Valley because there's really nothing there. Now, you will also go to, there's like a little section here where there's not only a Salsaritas, but Casa Don Gallo. There's Double Dogs, which is basically like a sports bar that has $2 martinis on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or something. I can't remember. There's a place called Brown Bag. So you've got a lot of like new stuff coming in over here, but it is small. There's like a Orange Hat Brewery over here, D1. So my whole point is like, you're probably leaving Hardin Valley to get where you're going, okay? School-wise and traffic-wise, the other thing I want to point out to you, it sounds like I'm bashing Hardin Valley in this. And that's not my intention. I just want you to know, like, fully Hardin Valley in general. What I want to show you is, so back in the day, so here's Pellissippi State Community College. This is pretty much as far as you would go. Like, I used to play soccer on the soccer fields right there. And we would say, where are you going? Pellissippi. Because that's where the college is. But now you've got all these new neighborhoods, and like back in the day, maybe you had a neighborhood here or there, but now all this has like exploded with new construction. So the other thing I want to show you is that the schools. So Hardin Valley Academy, Hardin Valley Elementary, and the middle school are really off the same road, which is that same main road that comes in from Pellissippi. So Hardin Valley Road is this main road coming in. This goes to Yarnell, and this goes further back. This is when you really start the winding road situation right here. This, not so much. Like off of here, to me, would be an ideal place if you're thinking of Hardin Valley, because you are so close to Pellissippi. Easy, easy, easy. You don't have to deal with like winding roads and all that. But what I want to show you though is you've got Hardin Valley Academy, then Hardin Valley Elementary is on this corner, and then Hardin Valley Middle School is back here, and you like turn off of this road. So elementary is here, if I could draw an E. Now, what's my point of this? My point is saying, imagine for me, if you will, what happens when school gets out? Well, whatever you're imagining, you're right. Because you've got people trying to get in their little babies here. Now, obviously, you've got buses and stuff, teenage drivers, blah, blah, blah. And then middle school, which is obviously basically parents and buses. So just want to point that out to you when you're thinking about Hardin Valley. Because of this reason, I personally would be over here. This would be like my ideal place. If I was thinking Hardin Valley, I would be in this general area because I'm avoiding all of this. I'm super close to Pellissippi. I can shoot over to Carnes. I can pop over to Farragut this way. Easy, much, much easier. So that is my recommendation when it comes to areas and things to know about what's happening. The other thing I want to point out to you is to show you the proximity of Hardin Valley to Oak Ridge, which makes it kind of a plus because, so here's Pellissippi and going this way, that's Oak Ridge. So you take Pellissippi right into Oak Ridge, like this way, blah, blah, blah. This road is, this is Hardin Valley, and this turns into Winterbrook Pike. So I'm showing you that whether or not you live in this part of Hardin Valley or you're over here in this like imposter Hardin Valley, which is technically zoned Hardin Valley, as we already talked about, you have very easy access to Oak Ridge. So that is certainly a positive. If you are moving here to work in Oak Ridge, maybe work at the lab, this would be a really convenient location. And I just want to, again, point out to you that based on where you are considering in Hardin Valley, over here, this area, it is beautiful. Like there are beautiful properties over here. Beautiful, beautiful. However, if you are a non-traffic person or you're going to be working downtown or in Oak Ridge, my suggestion is you want to be as close to this Pellissippi Parkway as you can. That is my suggestion. So that is the very fast version. Maybe it wasn't even that fast, but of just showing you Hardin Valley. The other thing I want to say is that there is quite a bit of like not quite a bit, but you see this firehouse here? If I zoom in even more, we're starting to see some like Maple Street Biscuit Company. There's like a hot, the place where you work out is like a sweat box basically, and you go in there and it's 100 degrees and you're on a spin bike. Like there's a gym there. So there's stuff coming in, but there's not a ton of room right off Hardin Valley to really add stuff. So the takeaway is lots of residential. This is kind of the sister to Farragut, north of 40. So that is your Hardin Valley overview. Map tour, I should say. Hardin Valley sits just north of Farragut. Watch where I show you on the map about where this is specifically. Hardin Valley is extremely new. It is 2 zip codes, 37932 and 37931. The primary zip code is 37932. 31 is really more of a Carnes zip code primarily. However, you do have some Hardin Valley imposters. That's what I call them. Anything that there is some pockets of Hardin Valley that are technically, like if you're from here, you would say, oh, that's Carnes. But if you're new here, you would say that's Hardin Valley. So again, we're going off school zoning. So check that out for the map. Then notice that Hardin Valley, it just sits just above Farragut. Seen as the sister of Farragut, the schools are seen as the sister of Farragut. It is also offers a large high school similarly to Farragut. It is not ranked as high as Farragut, but it is ranked well when it comes to overall performance. So Hardin Valley is a suburban unincorporated community in West Knox County, Tennessee. It is Knoxville. You do not have homes, unlike Farragut, that have a Farragut, like Farragut, Tennessee address. There is no Hardin Valley, Tennessee. It is Knoxville, Tennessee. Growing up, Hardin Valley didn't even exist. So my family moved here back in 1987 when I was 2 years old, okay? 38 at the time of this video, in case you're like, well, how old is she? Okay, 38, there you go. So growing up, Hardin Valley did not even exist. Then 2000s hit, boom, it explodes, and now Hardin Valley is its own thing. Population is said to be around 37,000 people. It is mostly residential. When it comes to the schools, you've got multiple schools feeding into it. Cedar Bluff Middle, Hardin Valley Middle, and Carnes Middle all feed into Hardin Valley, which makes that point about there's a Cedar Bluff Middle, which is Cedar Bluff is its own area, and then Carnes is its own area. So we're kind of including in these home stats, I'm going to talk about things that are zoned Hardin Valley so you get a better idea of, because there's some little pockets, or like Pellissippi, as you'll see on that map tour, runs north to south, and on either end, like you could say, okay, yeah, that's in Hardin Valley. So Hardin Valley Academy is the number 6, which is the high school, is the number 6 best public high school in Knox County. Overall grade of B. It serves 2,096 students, so that is just about the same number as what Farragut serves. So just want to point out to you again that when you're seeing that large size of a high school, which for Knoxville, that is a large school, you're going to see more electives, more APs, more study tracks, more opportunity when it comes to diversity of coursework. So that is one of the reasons, again, why you would see that Hardin Valley is ranked higher than some of the other schools. And that's why you're also going to see, you know, probably just, you know, it's a better college prep. Like this says number 8 in college prep for the Knoxville area. Distance to downtown, very similar to Farragut, depends on where you are from Hardin Valley. So I did this from Hardin Valley Academy, about 31 minutes to downtown. To McGee-Tyson, you're gonna go straight down Pellissippi Parkway, also about 30 minutes if you hit traffic, maybe more. And then to get to the mountains, specifically if we go Hardin Valley to Dollywood, about an hour and a half. When it comes to home stats in the Hardin Valley area, the average sale price is, over the past 90 days, $510,449. And then your sale price to list price is 100%. So houses are overall selling at what they're listing. Some obviously a little bit higher, some obviously a little bit lower, but overall you have a 1-to-1 sale to list price ratio. Now, here's the thing. If you look at ages of homes, so we saw 343 total transactions over this 90-day period for homes zoned for Hardin Valley Academy. Days on market, 21, which is essentially 2 weeks less than what's happening in Farragut. And then also note that your new homes, 207 out of 343, so almost 60%, were new construction. Or, well, new construction, 2020 or newer. And then very few in that basically older than 1980s. This is, again, not a location where you are going to find cute, quaint, old historic homes. You might find, if you find an old house there, like it's saying 16 out of 343 were 1970s and older, those are probably big pieces of property with a farmhouse. Like this used to be just like farmland. And you can even see pockets of that when you're driving through. It's like, oh, you've got this big new neighborhood, and then you've got like an old farmhouse sitting off the middle of Hardin Valley Road, which is the main road going through Hardin Valley. I think this is a lie. When I looked at how many of these properties are listed as level, it says 193 out of 343. That it cannot be correct. It is hilly there. It is windy there. I disagree with that. I think someone is trying to be like, it's level and steep at the same time, and we're gonna err towards steep. So that stat about 193 out of 343 is level, I don't believe it. Mountain View, 29 out of 343, so not really a thing. Basements, 50 out of 343. And then pools, same thing, 6 out of 343. So not a ton of properties with pools. However, you do have a lot of the new construction neighborhoods do have a pool within the community. Active listings, again, about 2% of overall listings in the East Tennessee MLS. And then your high to low, 229 lowest sale price, 2.3 million, almost 2.4 million was your highest sale price at the time when I pulled. So that's just, again, a snapshot of what pricing looks like. Again, your average sale price in Hardin Valley, $510,000. As always, I'm Haley Jones. I hope this has been helpful. That's always my intention. I know I can be long-winded. My goal is to keep this at 17 minutes. And right now this says 34. And as I'm talking about that, this doesn't even include my little map examples. So I apologize for the length. I do hope it's helpful. As always, shoot me an email, shoot me a text message, and subscribe for more, because I would love to share this information with you, and I hope it's helpful. That being said, I'm getting choked up. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next video.